On the day we went shopping for college supplies, Michaela, my younger sister, picked up a lace bedding set, her eyes sparkling. Mom put the item into the cart without glancing at the price. When it came to my turn, my brother Corey furrowed his brows at my choice of a blue bedsheet set. Casey, why do you always reach for the cold tone colors? Girls should go for something softer. Be like Michaela. Even my childhood friend Ben chuckled. No one in your dorm knows you anyway. Just pick whatever's easy. Michaela shifted her gaze to the blue bedsheets in my hands and murmured, Casey, why don't you use my old ones? It's not like you mind anyway. Mom was on board with the idea. Don't spend unnecessarily, Casey. Putting two girls through college isn't easy on the family. My grip on the sheets tightened. I knew exactly what Michaela was talking about. The fabric was worn thin, the edges were pilled, and the pillowcase still had the coffee stain. Things had always been this way. Michaela's unwanted dresses, old backpacks, and tiresome room would go to me. I once believed that by staying in my lane, I would eventually get my turn. It had been 18 years. All I got in return was that I never cared about what I got. At the checkout counter, Mom paid for Michaela's things. My blue bedsheet set was dumped back on the shelf. I grinned. No one would make note of the things I liked. I grabbed the blue bedspread. This time, I wouldn't be putting it back. Casey, why are you paying for the purchase yourself? My brother, Corey Tuttle, pressed my phone down before I could tap it against the machine. Michaela's used bedding doesn't have a hole or anything. What's your issue? I swatted his hand off with composure. Since the sheets are in such good condition, Michaela can take them to school. I'm buying the set of blue bed linens with my own money. I'm not spending money from the family's budget. Following a soft beep, the transaction was successful. Corey froze while our mother, Tracy Tuttle, grimaced. Why are you so unappreciative? Michaela only offered you her old one because she was trying to save you money. Michaela Tuttle tugged Mom on the sleeve, her eyes welling up. Don't be mad at Casey, Mom. It's all my fault. I should have just given her my new bedding. Ben Cross approached and took the heavy shopping bags from Michaela's hands. Casey, it's just a set of sheets. Must you make everyone upset? I looked at my childhood friend, the man who had sworn to be my only knight in shining armor. Somewhere down the line, Ben's attention had shifted to Michaela. I held onto the bag with the blue bedding set. All I wanted was a fresh, clean set of sheets. Not giving them any more attention, I walked out of the store. On the way home, Ben was behind the wheel. As always, I headed for the front passenger seat. My hand reached for the handle. Corey pulled me back. Take the back seat. Michaela gets a little motion sick, so she should sit in the front. I paused and glanced at Michaela. Michaela clutched her chest, her head resting on Tracy's shoulder. However, I recalled her chatting and laughing with Tracy in the back seat while munching on a bag of chips. Ben rolled down the car window, his voice tender. Just take the back seat, Casey. There's more room back there anyway. You can kick back and relax. Without a word, I withdrew my arm and opened the door to the back seat. It was cramped in the back. Corey, Tracy, and I were squeezed in the back row. Tracy edged forward, wrapping her arms around Michaela, while Corey kept reaching to hand her tissues. Shoved into the corner by the window, I was basically stuck against the frigid car door. The streetlights outside the window fleeted past. Back in 7th grade, I ranked first in school. I sprinted home with my report card, hoping to get a hug from Tracy. However, Michaela was running a slight fever that day. The entire family fussed over her the whole night as she lay in bed. My report card was left on the coffee table, where it ended up soaking up grease beneath a takeout box. Since then, I had learned to keep my grades in check. I kept my grades just slightly above Michaela's average. Here I thought that by not standing out, our parents would divide their attention more evenly between Michaela and me. I was wrong. For the unloved, no amount of sacrifice was good enough. Even the deepest devotion would be labeled an inconvenience. Back home, dinner was already ready on the table. It was Michaela's favorite seafood gumbo and barbecue ribs. Tracy slipped on gloves, peeled the shrimp, and added them to Michaela's plate one by one. Dig in, Michaela. You won't get much of my cooking once you're away at college. Corey took the most tender rib, cut the meat off the bone, and added it to Michaela's. If you can't get used to the cafeteria food at Briarwood University, just give me a buzz. I'll order takeout for you. Sitting across from Michaela, Ben refilled her drink with a smile. I work around the area. I know all the diners around the campus. I'll take you out for great food on weekends. They looked like a happy, close-knit family. Keeping my head down,